welcome to TTBoy TV. Today we have a super sweet girl star from the 90s that I worked with many times. Please welcome Micky Lynn.
Thank you for having me, TTBoy. It's been a very long time that I've been in your presence.
Long time, huh?
A very long time.
How long?
Well, you gotta figure the last time I was out here in California was in 2001. That was the last time I did a film.
And I was kind of out of the business doing my own production anyways. So we hadn't seen each other way before then.
Nope, we hadn't seen it at all. The first time we seen each other was when AVN, not last year, but the year before.
Right, so about 18 months ago. But before that, it probably was about 95, 96, you think?
No, a little later. A little
Really?
later, yeah, because we worked with each other later on. I mean, we had to have worked together up until 99.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Okay. How many movies did you do?
I did 200.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I did 200 movies. Believe it or not, not being out in California full time, but I did do it.
Uh-huh.
I did do 200 movies.
Wow. That's a good amount.
Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days, no?
For me, it's the best days.
I know.
That's
I
right.
know.
Did you, when you were in your prime, or whatever you want to say, when you were doing the most movies, did a lot of people recognize you?
Yes, out here in LA they did, and yeah, everywhere. Because you got to remember, they were shooting more porn out here, probably in the 90s than I can remember. And we would go out to dinner, and they would say, "Oh, they shoot porn movies out here?" And I'd be like, "Oh." So they wouldn't just come up to you and say to you, "I know who you are." They just like beat around the bush.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But you got a lot of eyes staring you down a lot of times.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Where did I see that girl?
Why did I see her? Oh yeah. Plus I had a birthmark on my here, and then my belly button was like a coin slot. So that's how people recognized me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't remember.
I guess everybody had their own little niche.
Yeah. I remember you kind of like just a sweet, sweet, quiet girl, I thought.
Yes, I was, but I had the naughty in me.
Yeah.
Because I came out I came out to LA in, I think it was 92 is when I came out here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we drove out and we were broke. By the time we got to LA, we had no money.
Where'd you come from?
New Jersey.
So you're a Jersey girl?
Yes, I am. I am born and raised in New Jersey.
What city?
Englewood, New Jersey.
Is that near Newark or?
No, that's a little north, more towards the city, New York City area.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're not far from the city?
No, we weren't far from the city at all.
So you're almost a New Yorker.
Yes, almost a New Yorker. Everybody tells me now, and when I'm in Florida, is you're from New York.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it still comes out of me.
The more north, the more strong the accent is?
Yep. Oh yeah, especially when I get mad.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Give me an example.
Like if somebody cuts me off.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when people cut me off.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, we know the United States and probably the whole world right now is off balance, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm out on the road, I can't help but notice people in LA on the freeways are driving 90 miles an hour all day, like it's normal. They cut you off going 90 miles an hour. Now, when I was younger, I would rarely see cars flipped over, upside down, on the side of a road or freeway, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I see them all the time now. And I see people driving 90 miles an hour, cutting you off, acting foolish. Do you see this?
Yes, I do. I do it because you have a lot of people who think that they can get away with it now because of everything that's going on. So they feel that they're not going to get pulled over because because they don't want to have a problem. So that's why people are getting away with it. But in Florida, we don't have that problem.
No?
No. I mean, people do the speed limit. It's not like out here. But then again, you have crazy people out here.
Maybe, I don't know. But I just noticed that people are really rude these days when they're driving, way more than they ever were. And when I was younger, I'd pull people over and, fuck them up all the time.
Okay.
Jump on their, get them wherever I could, but, I don't think things just aren't the same. Anyways,
Well, because you're older now. So you look at things differently.
No, I don't want to get in trouble, but I still want to fuck them up. Really, in my so I want to beat the fuck out of them. Anyways, so you're saying you came here in '92. Why did you come here?
Well, I wanted to do films. I was 18 years old. I had just gotten out of high school, and I was working in Manhattan at the Show World. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was like a fantasy booth thing.
Of course. So you worked at Show World.
Yes, I worked at Show World.
That was that area was owned by mob guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I heard later that area they bought it for a good price, and it was worth $300 million. That area. Okay. That's what I heard. 15 years ago. And they bought it for like $1 million or $2 million, something like that. Anyways, keep going.
So I went in there and I started working the booths, and I made some really good money at 18. And then upstairs it was called the Triple Treat Theater. So they would have the adult film stars come in. You would have like Alicia Rio, Laurel Canyon, Heather Lear.
Heather Lear was there?
Yes, I have photos with her. I actually have Polaroids with her.
Heather Lear.
Yeah.
She had really nice tits.
Yeah, she was really, really...
She used to have a crush on me.
Well, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? And then to star a night, and then what happened was I started asking them questions. And I said, you know what, I can do that. I want to be a featured dancer. So that is when I decided to save enough money to go across country.
So
they gave me Jim South's phone number.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you call him before you went there?
Yeah, I called him before I went there. I sent him Polaroids before we went, because we had to mail them, because obviously there was no email. And he said, come out. And that was history. And we drove to Florida. And then from Florida, we went to California.
Why did you go all the way down to Florida?
Because we were visiting family. And then we went across country.
Took the 10 freeway?
Yeah. So by the time we got out, we were broke. So I was like, oh, I hope this is going to work out, And I walked into Jim South's office, and I got a job the first day.
Really?
Yes, I did.
For who?
You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
John T-Bone.
I love
and
that guy.
Pamela D. Remember
who?
Pamela D? Remember Pamela D? She was a short redhead with her boobs weren't the greatest. They were like a little saggy. And that was my first boy-girl scene.
With Pamela D?
With Pamela D. And John T-Bone.
Boy-girl scene?
A boy-girl scene.
So who was the guy?
John T-Bone.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my first experience.
Come on, really?
No, why would I lie to you?
Why didn't you lie, but...
That was my first experience.
Wow,
Yes,
John T-Bone did the scenes?
Yeah, he did his own scenes with, what was his friend? William, what was his name?
Bill?
Bill, yeah, Bill. It was...
Taller, brown hair
Yeah,
guy?
him.
From New York?
Yes, him and John T-Bone, they were together, they worked together.
Yeah, Bill, I remember him. He's
Very nice guy.
He used to do still shoots,
Yes.
right? At his house.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So John T-Bone, I love John T-Bone. He's dead. I heard he died.
I know. It's so sad.
He was really nice. He took me to Thailand. in 1991 for TT's Oriental Adventures.
Oh
I
God.
fucked all these Thai girls and all the Asian girls, and I was having a great time.
Yeah, he did a lot of the orgies and the gangbangs.
Gangbangs.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved him. But a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved him. Did you like him?
Yeah, he was a very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
But he wasn't, going into the business, it wasn't like, he was like oh my God, this guy is hot. My first scene and I'm gonna do this guy. And I'm like 18 years old and I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, this is a job, maybe this is a test, you never know, but it wasn't. Because Jim, got me the job, and I was like, he was very polite and but it was interesting from my first scene.
Wow, I didn't know he did scenes. So, did he have a big dick?
Mm-hmm.
John Bond had a big dick?
Yes, he did.
Wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I actually have, what I'm doing now is, I actually have that scene.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It brings back memory. In the swimming pool, it was an experience.
Uh-huh.
But it didn't get me running out of the business. So it wasn't that bad of an experience.
So did he fuck you good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was good. He was good. They were both good. They were, like I said, I wasn't, they didn't do anything like they do today. Today is just like crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I read a lot of comments on the, my company, and they say it today about porno. A lot of people don't like it. It's kind of ugly. It doesn't have any kind of love or passion. It's just kind of plain or ugly or whatever. A lot of anal, a lot of no kissing, a lot of this, a lot of that. But if the people buy it, that's what is wanted.
Well, everybody has their own niche. People are just freaks. Like when I used to work in show world, the stuff that I used to see that went on in those booths, the guys that would come in. So it was, people are looking for that stuff. And if you're willing to do it.
But what'd you see?
Oh, I had.
Come on.
I had some guy come in with a diaper one time, right? And then a diaper.
A man diaper.
Mm-hmm. And then I had this Chinese guy come in with a lollipop and stick it up his butt.
A lollipop up his ass.
Mm-hmm.
But what did the guy with the diaper do?
No, he just wanted me to I guess he wanted to be like a baby. And then he would lick the cum off the window.
So he would jerk off and lick it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just, people were just crazy back then. But hey, I got money, I got paid. I got paid out of the machine and I got tipped, so I didn't care and I didn't have to touch anybody. So I was like, you do what you gotta do.
Anything else crazy you saw?
No, cross-dressers and couples coming in and doing it. And
Fucking
yeah.
Fuck while they're watching you?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're masturbating or
Yeah,
something?
you used to do like, say you'd have like a toy show or a dildo show and then a masturbation show. It never was like anything crazy.
I remember because I used to go to San Francisco and they had those shows there way back in the 80s.
Okay.
So I used to, I was a kid and I was like, this is cool.
Wow.
18 years old, 19 years old, I was watching them. Whatever I could watch. The Mitchell brothers had shows going on, and another one or two places had something going on, like 86, 87.
Well, when I was in the teens, I had to watch it through the TV, and I had to see if I can see a boob or a freaking butt or or a penis or something. It's like, oh, wait a minute, there it is. Because everything was scrabbled. It was like scrambled. It was like, really?
So you wanted to watch porn?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Really?
I loved it. Oh yeah, I loved it. It's just a natural thing. People, I think it's the best thing that they've had.
When did you start watching it?
Probably 14.
Did you get to see movies or you were scrambled?
Some, me and my girlfriend, we used to see the magazines. We used to have like magazines.
Porn magazines, like where they're fucking, or just like Hustler or Chic or...
Well, years ago, they didn't have the hardcore. They only started that hardcore, I think, except for the The ones that we did that one time was in Germany, from Germany. But they started doing hardcore magazines in the late 90s, I know.
No, they had them. They were hard to get a hold of.
Oh, they were.
Yeah,
Because I remember doing them. I remember doing one with you as well.
Really?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Hans Moser?
Yes.
Or Hans somebody?
Yeah, Hans. And I,
Open your eyes, let's see what you have for breakfast.
yeah,
Remember that guy? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
And his wife?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. He used to go to Jim's office a lot. And, but yeah, that's all, I mean, all I seen was penises and pussies and that's about it.
But then sometimes you see a movie.
Yeah, sometimes, if I was lucky. Not like now where you go on Twitter and it's like,
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
every other ad is a, you got a girl there. I mean, why pay for it? There's so much out there and that's the problem today.
And you know what else the problem is? That media takes away all the mystique. We want the mystique, the mystery of seeing a girl pull her pants down, touching her, kissing her, loving her. Now you just see this, so the mystique of a woman is lost. Because, you know, women used to be so mysterious.
It's sensual.
Sensual, sexual, beautiful, special. And now they're out there and you can't really appreciate what you used to appreciate about them. That's how I feel, you know?
Well, I mean, I've always considered myself bisexual.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a lesbian. I mean, I love men. I mean, my girlfriend, she's supposed to be a lesbian, and you know, and I ask her, why is it that lesbians need to use dildos? Just use the real thing. That doesn't mean that you like men. Just it feels better.
Yeah.
You know, it feels good when you have it. To me, that's my opinion.
Well, I don't want to fuck a plastic doll, you know what I mean? Even though, you know, and I'm definitely not fucking with men. So I guess I kind of understand what you're saying.
Well,
But,
yeah.
You know, not really. You know, because I'm not using the plastic women, you know?
Well, no, you don't need to.
No.
You don't need to.
But the future is going to be alien robots, and they won't be plastic, they'll be...
Well, have you ever gone, well, when you go to some of the shows, you got some of those real life women that you like, they feel like real. Like, I mean, it's not the real thing, but the way the texture is.
It's getting even more real and more real. AI is taking over. That's the facts.
Okay.
Yeah, get ready. Get ready. The AI revolution is here, and it's coming fast. There's a lot of stuff going on with medicine because of AI and, you know, the computers computing so fast. But this is not why we're here today. So anyway, so back to that. So you were a porn fan. Were any porn stars that you liked?
I didn't know anybody.
Okay.
When I came into it, I didn't know who they were.
Because you didn't see enough, you weren't able to see too
I
much.
wasn't able to see anything. I just met as I was going along. So as I met them, I was starstruck because I'm like, oh wow, she's doing this. Wow, I can do that. That's amazing.
Oh, when you saw him come into the show world.
Do the show world and do the dancing. I was like, that's something I can do.
So any other, because those girls you told me, Heather Lear wasn't a big star. She was cute, she was pretty, you know. We fucked around a little bit, but that's Laurel Canyon was okay, but not a big star. Like, were any big stars coming in there?
Well, you had Alicia Rio, you had Melanie Moore, you had, there were, Lois Ayres was there, Portia Lynn. I don't think Amber Lynn was ever there. And Ginger Lynn, I don't think she was there.
Yeah, like Ginger Lynn was a big star. I remember big
Yeah,
stars.
and I think Christy Canyon went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She's
she
a big
did.
star. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, Show World's a cool place.
It was, I would, you know what, if I could, like, if I was to turn around and put a business, that is the business I would put. I put a business like that, where guys can just go in and do what they gotta do, see the woman, pick the woman, and then leave.
Well,
They need to bring that back.
they do have something going on right now, you know, that's interesting. I'm not trying to promote this company, but something not like that, but maybe similar. Now, you know there's a lot of crypto billionaires now. And
Yes, yes, the
millionaires.
Bitcoins.
Yeah, Bitcoin and all kinds of coins.
Okay,
So they have a company I heard on an island
okay,
where their girls are there, you know, and you can use your crypto for them.
okay,
Which is something similar,
okay,
what you're saying. Because, you know, they've got billions of crypto dollars.
okay. Yeah, I heard that's the new thing.
They want to spend them. You know what I mean? Anyways, sounds good to me.
Whatever way you can make your money is the way you can make your money. I mean, that's
Don't trust Uncle Sam, that's what we can say.
exactly.
Gotta make your money because they'll take it from you. Anyways, so you go to Jim's office, you work with John T-Bone, right? And Pamela D, who I can't remember so much, but anyways, what did you feel like? How much did they pay you, first of all?
I can't even remember. I think maybe it was like $500.
$500. How did you feel the next day after you worked? Because you're 18, you're kind of like a strawberry, kind of young, you know, but you're not young and dumb because you're already at show world.
Yeah.
You know, you already understand sex life, kind of. Did you do any kind of dating at show world?
No.
Outside?
No.
Okay. So you're not a super strawberry, but just a little teeny bit.
Yeah, I was
So-
a virgin to the business.
Virgin to the business. So what did you feel like the next day, psychologically speaking? How did you feel? Like you felt like you did the right thing? Were you proud? You were sad? You were happy?
To be honest, I didn't feel sad. It was something that I knew that I wanted to do. And it wasn't like I was being abused in any way. So, and I trust Jim. So as long as I had my trust in Jim, I knew I was going to be okay. And I got paid at the end of the day. And I said, you know what? It's going to work from here on. If I can get through this, I can continue.
But John Bone's a nice guy, but just not, he had a belly,
Yes.
he's older,
Yes.
but nice guy.
Very nice guy. He was not dirty. He wasn't disgusting. He was overweight.
Yeah, and here's the deal that people don't know because mostly we know, but John T. Bone was not a performer really. He was an director, producer-director. That was his main thing. So I was surprised you're telling me that he performed because I never heard of that ever. And I knew him a long time. Anyway, so for the people out there that don't know, that's why, you know, he wasn't not a real performer, but he could perform, so God bless him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get, and what was I think it was his series called American Horn Dogs, I think it was called, or American Connections, one of those.
So was it like a...
It was like a
amateur style?
series, yeah, it was an amateur thing.
Because he did a lot of bigger productions, normally, that I was in, you know. And so that's where, you know, so I'm good, yeah, it was amateur. So that's cool, good for him. Because, I mean, we were in Thailand together and he had his girlfriend, Pong, I think was her name, or something like that. And we went all the way into Chiang Mai, and then into the jungles. And
Wow.
you know, it was a cool trip for a young guy like me. And I love that guy. I always talk about him on the show, that I liked him a lot.
Yeah, no, there was nothing wrong with him.
Anyway, so who's your next scene with?
My next scene would be with Coast to Coast Video, Jonathan Morgan.
He's a nice enough guy, but
He was a lot better looking than John T-Bone.
oh yeah,
But yeah, he was my next, yeah, he was that was my next, that was actually my first feature film. That I got the box cover.
for Coast to Coast. Oh, you got the box?
Yep.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because that's what I was working for. I come out, I says, you know what, I need box covers and I need magazine covers.
Do you have that box cover handy? Do you know the name?
It's called, you can look it up, it's called Bush League 2.
So how'd that go with Jonathan Morgan?
It went good. It went very well. I remember we were on a cold kitchen tile. That's what I remember. And he was but Jonathan Morgan was like he tried to be like a comedian. He was always a comedian. So he's always made these funny, like, hey, you know, and it was like, and I was trying to do my scene. It was like I was trying not to laugh, you know, and he would just joke about it.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't a strong performer, so I'm guessing his sex is pretty basic.
Well, yeah, no, he was regular.
Yeah, he did his job.
Yeah, he performed. He was able. Yeah, I never had any issues with him.
Really?
Yeah, no, I never had any issues with anybody.
Being soft.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe he had problems later on.
well, I've stuck cock for him at least 10 times. But, you know, whatever. I mean, I liked him. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Actually, one of the shows I seen him recently, I think he's got his own modeling agency now.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but I think he's doing okay. I mean, he did a lot of directing for Wicked. A lot of production and directing for Wicked Pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's from what I know, but I went off my own way, you know, so I don't know what a lot of people did. My production was, I don't know, different, you know what I mean? So I didn't need, but I didn't talk to that really hardly anybody from our time. I just went off in my world. I mean, that's just the way it was. So right around 2000, I really stopped communicating with most of the people because I wasn't on the sets.
Okay.
You know.
Now, when did they start taking everything out of the valley? Like closing everything down?
I mean, not everything's closed down, but I think they started, you know, the OSHA destroying California. You know, they want to destroy California. They don't want California to work. They don't want anything in California to make money. They want to cost everybody money.
Okay.
That's the fact with California, with the government. They don't want to help. They don't want to do anything but steal everybody's money and give it away.
Okay.
They don't want California to do well. So they start chasing everybody out of the valley or whatever with OSHA and all their bullshit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And all the other companies along with it. So many companies they've chased out of California to other countries. You know, so United States doesn't, you know, capitalize and make money. So we eat shit and die. But I would say probably around 2008, 2010,
Okay.
people started moving a little bit towards Vegas and towards other places.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I know they shoot now a lot in Vegas.
Yeah. So going around probably at 10, 11 they start, but they still shoot in the valley, but nothing's as friendly as it once was. You know, so that's all. But I don't want to talk, like I get crazy about how rotten, you know, they treat the people that want to make money and bring money into the state, the way they treat them.
And they give it away.
No, they steal their money, they treat them like shit. They don't, it's not an employer-friendly state.
Well, yeah, I think in California they're trying to do away with the independent contractor.
They just want to own you. They want communism, that's all. So, any case, let's talk about porn. So, your second scene was with Jonathan. He did a good job. So that's good to hear. And do you remember your third scene?
My third scene was with Crystal Wilder and Malcolm XXX.
Malcolm XXX, I never heard of him.
No.
That guy, an actor?
No, that was the name of the movie.
Oh, so it was a girl.
Yeah, it was a girl.
Okay.
Crystal Wilder. I was on the box cover of that one.
I loved Crystal Wilder.
Yes.
I loved her. You know why? She had a big fat pussy. And I loved working with her.
Yeah, she was a good girl. Her and her husband, Terry Thomas.
Right.
They were
a
in
nice
there.
guy.
And I did a girl scene with her
So how did it go?
on there. It went really well. It was really good.
She was something about her, right? I thought she was sexy, right?
She looked, number one, she was a little older.
Yeah.
So I think she was I think she was like 30 at the time.
Probably right. But she was something about her was sexy.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely, yeah. And she was clean, and you know, you gotta remember back then it was different. We enjoyed each other. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I always said to Jim, I says, please don't set me up with somebody that doesn't like women, because I want to make sure that I can enjoy myself as well as doing the scene. Because you're not gonna get a scene that is gonna be worth.
Shit.
But I guess they liked me because they kept hiring me.
Who? What do you mean? Everybody?
Yeah, I worked for Vivid. I was in the Debbie Does Dallas, the 2 sequels. Wicked Pictures. I was in all of the main VCA. I was in all of them. Jim Holiday. I was in his big car wash.
What?
Angels.
Right, so were you in the scene where I fucked 7 girls? Or no?
Yeah, we did a scene in that one.
7, when I fucked the 7 or the 30?
It was just me and you that one.
Oh, okay.
But you did do it. Yeah, you did do that.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Holiday was great, but so you got a lot of great productions. I mean,
Oh yeah, I worked with some pretty good productions. Who else? VCA, Metro, Coast to Coast, and then there was Legend. I did the No Fly Zone with Legend, and that was an all-girl, and that cast was Alicia Rio, Melanie Moore, Sydney St. James. Who else was
she was dark hair girl, right?
No, she was a blonde.
Alright.
And who else? I can't remember all the names, but I know that was an all-girl movie. Me and Alicia talk about it all the time.
You know, Lisa? She's scared to come on the show.
Really? Why?
I guess says thinks she's fat or something, or older or something. This is what I heard. She was supposed to show up and then she canceled.
Really?
Yeah, she's a pretty wild girl, you know what I mean?
She was known as the Latin Queen.
Yeah, in that time, right.
But you see, when I came out in 2018, I came out here to shoot. I did some shoots while I was out here. I shot with Scores Land, and then All Over 30, and then something else. There was something else that Jim got me, because I was with Jim until the end. I was with him from '92 to the when he passed. I was still with him. I was very faithful to him. Never shot. I never shot with anybody without him knowing. But when I came back in 2018 for the XRCO Awards, because I was put into the Hall of Fame, I started noticing people older and different. I'm like, wow, this is not like California has changed. People have changed. Like you said, like with Alicia Rio, she met me at the XRCO Awards, and I couldn't find her because I couldn't recognize her.
She was chunky?
Yeah, she was, yeah. So, I mean, everybody changes. I'm older. I know I don't look 18 anymore, but we all change, and with women, it's different. Men, look at you, you still look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still look the same.
In good shape.
Yeah.
Got a 6-pack, 7-pack, 8-pack?
8-pack, 9-pack.
Yeah. Well, I take good care of myself. You know.
See, well, you like me, I never did any hard drugs. I never partied when I came out here.
Never partied?
Nope, I never partied.
Ever? No sex and drugs?
Nope. I did it all sober.
I did sex and drugs.
Well,
no, I mean, not hardly at all. You know what I mean? Once a year. But, yeah, right, I'm not really a drug guy. I'm not a party guy.
What? Would you smoke weed?
I smoked weed when I was in 5th grade.
5th grade, oh my
In
God.
6th grade. I did cocaine when I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
But you know, no, I'm always working out. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. I'm not a drug guy.
Yeah, and I've never tried any drugs, like any marijuana, any stuff like that. Yes.
Still,
to this day.
That's
Till
crazy.
this day.
You're not curious?
No, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't, I mean, what does it do to you?
It's fun. It's fun.
But I can have fun without it. I mean, I can go out and I'm just a happy person. So, I mean, I do have a drink every now and then, and that'll make me even funnier.
Yeah.
Because sometimes alcohol makes people nasty and rude. But me, I go out and I start laughing at people. I have a good old time. But I don't need to do any of that stuff to have fun or to have sex. So why was I going to do it?
No, I mean, I don't get high and just walk around. Hey, I'm high.
No, and I never seen you high on set.
I would never be high.
And that's what everybody used to ask me. Like, oh, porn, oh, there's drugs and this and that, and I'm thinking,
I never
seen any on set.
I never seen anything.
I mean, so stop telling us what we're doing when we're not doing.
But it was there before.
Well, I guess.
It was there a little bit, from what I hear,
Oh,
in
okay.
the late 70s and early 80s.
Okay.
But I came around 89, I never seen anybody with drugs on set. I seen weed,
Okay.
that's normal, but I didn't ever see any drugs.
Okay.
Or since I didn't do drugs, maybe they didn't offer them to me. You know what I mean? Had I been like a drug guy, maybe they would say, hey, you want some?
So now, I guess you gotta look like a drug guy?
Maybe you gotta start smoking weed on the set and then you probably go extra, probably something like that, a little more. For me, as an actor, I had to be completely focused. Anything out of whack and I wouldn't be able to perform.
I think out of my career that I was doing movies, I think one time I wrote down the wrong date to a shoot and didn't show up. I think it was one time because I had put it on my calendar on the wrong day.
Alright.
And I guess, but I didn't miss it because Jim had said, make sure you go on this day. But I would have missed it if I had it written on the wrong day.
Alright.
But that's about it. I mean, I never showed up late. I was always prepared and all that other stuff.
Hey, you seem, like I say, because I wrote this question down, but you just answered before I asked it about the drugs. But you seem, in the question I say, you don't seem like the girl that did anything. You seem very straight. And you just answered, yes you are. See, I called it pretty good
Yes.
in my questionnaire. But,
Well, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I was very fortunate because I looked very young. I was doing Hustler Barely Legal at age 21.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was doing young stuff up until I left the business.
Yeah, you have that young look. I don't know. With that photo shoot that we did, I still have one of those pictures of the photo shoot. But you must have a lot of pictures. You just have the magazine layout, you have the pictures.
Oh, I have a lot. I can send you a lot of photos that I have.
But the photo shoot we did, simulated, remember? You sent me,
I sent them to you.
But I have an actual photo from that shoot.
Really?
Yeah. Did you get any of those shoots? Those are hard to come by.
I got a lot of Polaroid
Yeah, like
photos.
the Polaroid. So I have a Polaroid, but it's different than a Polaroid. It's something,
It's more of a
proof.
picture. It's a picture Polaroid.
yeah, a proof. Kind of like that.
Exactly.
So you have some of those from that shoot or no?
Yes, I do, and I have them from a lot of other shoots.
So who was your favorite director?
Who is my favorite director? Michael Carpenter.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Michael Carpenter. Me and Peter North, he'd always hire us together to do 3-ways. He'd go, my guys, I love you guys, my guys. Really, that's why, he's a great guy. I love that guy.
Yeah. I did a lot of shoots with him. Hot Asses 2 or something like that. And I don't know if we did a scene in that one. I gotta look it up, but...
He said that he wouldn't do a movie without me and Peter North in it. So we probably worked with you.
We probably were working with me.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I did anal, but I didn't do DPs.
Oh, okay. So did you like anal sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you first start doing anal sex?
When I did the movies.
Yeah? So not before that?
No, actually, no, I tried it before. I
Yeah?
tried it before I did the movies. I lied. I fibbed.
How old were you?
Probably 17.
How many guys did you fuck before you got in the business?
Not many.
No?
No. Not many at all.
Because, sometimes I heard that the East Coast girls are hard. Hard to get pussy off. That's what I heard. In California, girls are giving up pussy when I'm in school in 7th, 8th grade. It's no problem. 9th grade. But I heard East Coast is hard. That's what people tell me.
Well, not now it ain't.
Now, but back then.
Back then, I mean, I guess, but, I mean, I never just, I mean, I was not a, believe it or not, I wasn't a wild kid.
I believe it. You know why? Because I know your energy, and your energy is a little bit strong. Quiet but strong.
My motto is why would I do something for free if I can get paid for it?
Really? When you were young too?
Oh yeah, that's why I went to Show World.
That's what I'm saying about East Coast. It's rough.
Why am I
East
gonna
Coast
give
girls.
why am I gonna give it to you for free? That's the problem now with it. Yeah. I mean, why? I mean, this doesn't make sense.
So, how old were you the first time you had sex?
I'm gonna say 14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Boyfriend or something?
Mm-hmm.
Just normal?
Just normal.
How'd it go?
Good, obviously.
Wow.
It went good.
Oh, 'cause you
It
kept
was
going?
fun. Yeah, because I kept going. I wasn't like, I didn't turn into be a lesbian. But my first sexual experience was a girl when I was younger, like around 13, me and my girlfriend.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You
I had a couple.
You licked each other?
Mm-hmm.
Pussies?
Yep.
Kissed? Licked?
Everything. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew that I was bisexual. I wasn't gay.
So you were attracted to girls always?
Oh, I still am. I mean, women are beautiful. I mean,
sometimes they're unbelievable.
some of them, sometimes they're, you know.
Sometimes they're monsters.
Some of them, they're ugly and they got great bodies, and some of them, you know, they got both. They're lucky.
Huh. No.
I was fortunate. I was able to, I had the body and but you know what's funny is I had little boobs when I got into the business.
Yeah, right. What size are your breasts? They're bigger now?
Yeah, they're 34C.
Let's see, push them together.
And they're natural.
Yeah, put a little more. Look at that. Anybody see them? Woo! Natural, so they got bigger, huh?
Yeah, they got bigger.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, when I had my son in '02, they went to a D.
Really?
Because I breastfed.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Because
And so they got bigger afterwards and stayed bigger.
No, you know what's funny is they got bigger when I had my son and I was breastfeeding him. And then I lost him again. And then I got him back. It's weird.
Huh.
Because when I had my son, I lost a lot of weight because I breastfed.
Okay. So when you came on that trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out here, you say you were with your boyfriend?
No, just a friend.
Just a girlfriend?
Just a friend.
Just a
boyfriend,
friend.
like a guy friend.
Guy friend?
Mm-hmm.
Friend. So you had no boyfriend?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So when you were in the business, you know, at this point in time, you were out here with a friend. You're staying in a motel
On Sunset Boulevard of
on
all
Sunset
places.
Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's fun. It's exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of those little hotels alongside the road.
I used to go out with a girl from the business who lived right there, Sunset, a little bit west of La Brea, but on Sunset next to the Ralphs.
Okay.
You know where that is?
Yes.
I think it's Poinsettia?
Yes.
Yes, she lived on Poinsettia, Alice Springs. You ever meet her? She was really sexy, but I think she was out of business by then.
Okay.
Anyway, she has a good pussy. She was pretty. But I just remember Hollywood, 'cause I go there all the time. Shawn Michaels used to live off of Fountain,
Okay.
so they're both kind of close to each other.
I know.
Stop by and say hi to both of them.
Okay.
Anyway.
He's in Vegas now, right?
Yeah. So, did you fuck around with anybody in the business? Like, get a relationship?
No. Never dated anybody in the business. I kept everything professional. I mean, we'd hook up off a set.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
fucked somebody for fun.
Yeah, we went out.
Who?
And, Brittany O'Connell and her husband.
Oh, Brittany
Remember
was
her?
so cool, I love her, yeah.
And
And
then
he was a nice guy, the guy.
I don't think they're together anymore. And then there was Jay Ashley and Caitlin Ashley. And then Valerie and Tony. Remember Valerie? She was from Germany.
Tony Hutadesi?
No, he never did movies, but she did them. Valerie. She was like a tall German girl.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
So you fucked with Brittany O'Connell and her boyfriend, you fucked them both?
Yeah, we
Yeah?
had fun, yeah. We just all went at it.
Yeah? It
Yeah,
was good?
yeah, because, see, back then, we were like family friends, so it wasn't like we were going out of the circle. We kept everything in the circle. It wasn't like we went and did unsafe things.
She was a cutie pie, I thought.
She was a sweetheart.
Sweetheart. She's
Sweetheart.
sweet too, right?
Yes, she was a very. I did a lot of videos with her. She was in. You weren't in Top Deb's prom night. That's one that I did, and we did a lot of bondage with Andy Adler.
Who?
Andy Adler. Do you remember him?
Andy Adler?
Yeah, he
Randy
did like.
West?
No, not Randy West. Andy Adler. He was like a. He was like a bondage type of guy.
Yeah.
It was more simulated. It wasn't like nowadays. You go to a shoot and they say you're going to get tied up and you probably wind up dead.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I never liked bondage. I never liked any of that stuff, so I never paid attention to it. Or anybody.
Paid
with
well.
it.
Paid
I heard.
very well.
I heard.
Paid very well.
And I know that Karina Collins loved to get her ass beat. She was sexy as hell. Remember Karina Collins? She loved to get tortured.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I have really heavy hands. I spanked her, and she just keeps spanking me. And you know, I only got to spank you a few times on your ass hard, and
Okay.
you got blood's gonna come out. That's the facts. And so she said, "Keep going." Blood kind of came, just off spanks, like 3 or 4 spanks, and blood comes.
Wow.
But she loved it. You know, she comes off of getting tortured. I was like, this is little.
You know who I used to I did a lot of films with was Debbie Diamond. Remember Debbie
I
Diamond?
love it. She was so cool. I worked with her like 50 times, 40 or 50 times. We did so many scenes together. She was big, strong, but she was a real sexual nymph.
She was crazy.
She's crazy. She was.
She was.
Come on. All right, tell me the truth. I mean, you're not a guy, so you're not, but you watched her. Most the men in the business
Couldn't
couldn't handle her,
Couldn't handle her.
right? Right?
No, they couldn't handle her because she was just so far gone.
And she's big and strong. She'll fuck you up. She can probably beat some guy's ass, I bet. She's almost 6 foot tall. She was very strong. And I'd have to use a lot of energy to control her. And I could control her, and she loved it.
Yeah, no, she was a good, she was, you know, I mean, everybody was so good back then.
But she is an outstanding maniac, sexual maniac.
Well,
So she's up there on the pedestal of sexual.
Well, she was the anal queen, correct?
She's everything, yeah. We did a lot of DPs with her, a lot of stuff. I mean, but she was really out there, strong. I mean, when you look at Debbie Diamond performing, you say, wow, right? She's great. I love her. She was, but so
Oh, I've worked with her numerous times.
you fuck her off camera?
Yeah, no, we never worked, no,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. But she was so cool. She was so sweet.
I worked with her on camera, but I didn't work with her
How
on.
many times?
I'm gonna say 5 or 6.
How many times did we work together?
We worked enough. I can't,
5, 10, 15? you think?
more than that.
Really?
Yeah, more than
20
that.
times
Because
maybe?
we did a lot of hardcore photos. We did Super Groupie. We did, what the heck was the name of that movie? Car Wash Angels. I mean, I have to look it up, but I have my scenes that I've done.
Yeah?
Yeah, I keep everything.
So we did at least 15.
Yeah, we had to have done more.
Really?
Yeah, I worked a lot with you, Peter North, Randy West, who else? Tony Tedeschi, Shawn Michaels. I mean, I worked with everybody. I mean, it was amazing.
Did you have a list of guys that you preferred, or you were just open?
No, I made sure that I had certain guys that I did anal with and certain guys that I worked with.
So, what guys were your favorite guys?
You, Peter North, and Randy West, But Peter North, I remember used to bug him. Like when we would do our cum shots, I'd be on top of him, cowgirl, and I'd be jerking him off, and I'd say to him, okay, see if you can hit my face from there. And the camera guys, they would be like laughing at me. They were like, Micky Lynn, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I just want to see how far it shoots up. Because they knew that I was the jokester. I mean, how many times I would mess around with the cameramen, like they would be shooting over me and I'd be going up their leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
like,
fuck with them?
Yeah. I'd be like,
Teasing them?
and they'd be like, stop it. I'm like,
So you never fucked the cameraman off camera?
nope,
Okay, just fucking around.
just messing around. Because they were like,
Family.
it was different. Like, remember, they had the light guy. They had the light guy, they had the sound guy, and then they had the camera guy.
And the still shooter.
Oh, yes, and the still shooter. Sorry about that.
That was a great time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was just like
I really miss it.
it was like, you know what, I always compare it to like the Old West. Say it all the time on my show. The Old West really was the Wild West, Wild West, right? The old Wild West was the Wild West right after the Civil War to about when all the communication became evolved, which is trains were kind of a communication, even though it's not, you're not talking on them, they move fast so they can transport people and have them in a spot to stop the wildness. They have a crew of people come, army, whatever, and the wire or the wire, the wire. When the wires went up and the trains were there, the Wild West started dying down. So I consider our time similar, like 30 years. You had like from 1860, 25 years Wild West, 1865 to like 1890 or 1885, 20 years, 30 years. And I don't know how wild it was in the early 70s. It doesn't sound like it was so wild, but maybe from 75 to like 95 or 2000, it was just kind of like free and wild West.
Well, what you had, Woodstock in the 60s, so then you had all those crazy people, and then the 70s you had the disco era, and then the 80s you had...
No, for porn I'm saying.
Oh.
For porn. Because porn didn't mature.
Until the 90s. You think?
No, the 80s was starting to mature. Okay. But if you want to think about the way it goes in time, so you might actually say it's possible that it grew like a Percy grows, maybe. Possibly, right? The 70s is the beginning, really.
Yeah.
69, Eric Edwards was on the show and he did a scene in 1969, and there was a couple guys before him. But he's one of the first. He's the grandfather of porn performers.
Okay.
You work with him, right?
No,
No, as a on his sets, no?
Yes.
On his sets, right.
and I still talk to him.
He's a wonderful guy. Anyway, so if you say 70s was 72, 3, whatever is the beginning, 8, by 1980 they're 10 years old, starting to grow up. And by the 90s, our time, I came in the 80s anyways, but the late 80s. But for the 90s, it's like a teenager. Porn's like a teenager, and it's got a lot of energy, right? Power, energy, it wants to get wild. It's not nasty and perverted, it's just wild and free, right? Like a person, maybe. And by the thousands...
More people were doing it.
Yeah, by the thousands, it's 25 years old or starting to maybe get weird, you know what I mean? Because, people they're not as time goes on, experiences change you, mold you, and have you feel certain ways. So I wonder if porn, started being molded and feeling a certain way. And by now, it's 45, 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
And it's twisted, like a person maybe, because you've been abused by so many people that maybe fucked you over. You've seen so much bullshit from politicians, from people, from family, and now you're kind of like twisted up and you're like, whoa. You know, you're more cautious of life and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe porn is just like, I'm cautious, but I need to get more weird. It's just weird. I'm just saying, you know, that's a wild thought. What do you think?
Well, I think a lot has to do with it with the internet. Because in the 90s, we didn't have the internet. So I think that's what makes it weirder. Because now you can find it. You can just Google how many dicks I can get up, you know, or whatever. And the craziest thing comes up. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It had to evolve.
Yeah, I mean.
But I'm glad that when I started in the 92, that was my best time, best era. So, I mean, and now when I go to the shows, I tell the girls, and when they talk to me about it, because now they're like, you know, you're a legend, you know, you did all these movies, you were in the real movies. So that's what they consider you and I, the real movies, the real porn movies.
How we get so old?
I don't know, but I never thought I was going to be this old. No, I'm not kidding. So, and I would tell them, you know, and they would listen to stories. They would say to me, I'd say, you know, you're very lucky. I said, because when I started, I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Facebook, which I get put Facebook a lot, jail. And I didn't have all that stuff. So I had to go out and hustle for my work. I had to go out and get my work. And that's a different story. It's now you just go out on the internet and you just promote yourself.
As a girl, right?
Anybody can be, to me, do you call them porn stars now? I mean, are they real porn stars now? To me, you'd have to earn that title.
You know what? I don't watch the porn. You know what I mean? Because I did so much of it, and you know, I just don't watch it. I don't know. You know, whatever. I'd rather fuck a real person than jack off. You know what I mean? So.
Because you didn't need to do it. Because you know.
I used to love porn. I used to watch a lot before I got into business, but. So I don't know if they're porn stars.
Yeah. And another thing is when we did it, we looked at it differently. When we watched it compared to when we did it. That's another thing that changed porn for me is I remember watching one of my movies and thinking, oh, well, yeah, that happened on that set and that did this and that, and it takes the spontaneity away of it, I think.
Oh, man. So much spontaneity, I feel, is gone anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like we're being programmed like robots, you know, by a lot of different people or companies or entities, whatever you want to say.
Well, I know a lot of I heard, and I don't know how true this is, a lot of the adult companies have been bought from Canada. Canada has bought in a lot of it. The old stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's some companies, you know, I know a lot of the companies, I did a lot of business, but yeah. But anyways, you could also say this, that because those girls are lucky now with Instagram and all the OnlyFans, they can make more money, so you like the money. But I always felt this way, that I wouldn't trade my experience in the business for $1 billion because it was so new and fresh and innocent. You know, we were innocent. Even though we're doing porn, we were innocent people. Mm-hmm. You know, just kids having fun, getting away, being free, mm-hmm. having a freedom of speech with our bodies, but a free life because we made enough money that we could do whatever we want every fucking day and not have to report 9 to 5. And when we're on the sets doing 9 to 12 at night, 9 in the morning to 12 at night, or 2 in the morning, or even 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock the next day, it didn't feel like it. Mm-hmm. It felt like we're just having a great time. But what I'm going to say is that I wouldn't trade it for $1 billion, but sometimes the yin and yang balance of things makes you wonder, So now you get all this money with OnlyFans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you'll never get that camaraderie, that fresh time when you get a box cover and everything meant more. It meant more back then, I think. And so, does it always balance out? I don't know. You know what I mean? Does yin and yang balance it out one way or another in the world? Can you give me your opinion?
Well, I mean, I think you're right in the fact that when we did it was the best time, even though now they have control of their own content. Now that's the only difference that they have now, is if somebody shoots in their kitchen or in their thing, they control their content. That's the only difference that's today is. Whereas when in the 90s, when I did it, I did it for the feature films and the box covers and all that stuff. So yeah, it teeter-totters to a different level, and it comes to the same.
Could be the same. So would you trade
No, I wouldn't trade my time.
for this time?
No.
No way.
No, because there's too many fish in the ocean.
Oh yeah? Is that why?
Yeah, because just think about it.
So it's more competitive.
It's more competitive right now. Unless you have a marketing person, you can be one little fish or one little person in the internet. You're a little dot in that internet. If you don't know where you're going, doesn't matter if you have good content or you have anything. Is if you don't know where to go, you're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with people. I still sell a lot of my collectibles, like I have VHS tapes, movie sticks that I have.
Where do they find that?
MickyLynn.com.
Okay. MickyLynn.com, you hear that?
Yeah, so I still have like posters and stuff like that. So I still have my memorabilia. And these girls don't have that. It's a difference. And when I go to the shows now, I look at these girls and I say, you know, and there are a lot of webcam girls at these shows, not porn stars.
Pretty girls?
They're very pretty, but anybody can do it, TT. Anybody. I mean, it's just any flavor of the day can be there. Could be any size, anything. Because that's what people like.
No. I mean, for me, movies were special to me. You know, the movies, the dialogue, the movies, the feature, the fun. We get these 30, 40 page scripts, we have to learn them real quick. And for me, just saying that dialogue that sometimes was stupid as hell, I'd be on set laughing so hard. Sometimes we'd be stuck laughing so much that they had to shut all the cameras off and we had to calm down because we got stuck with the laughing disease. You ever had that happen?
Yeah. Now, there was a scene that you and me and Peter North did at one of the ranches.
Avocado ranch?
Yes. Sheepless in Montana.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember that?
Coast to coast or just taking a guess?
I don't know, but Sheepless in Montana, it was, I don't know if it was Wicked because it was Brad Armstrong. Diana Loren was on the cover.
All right.
But I remember that scene, and I remember being in the canyon, and I remember galloping to you and Peter North.
So me and Peter North fucked him?
Mm-hmm. I did you and him and me on that mountain.
Oh yeah? Was it cool?
Yes, it was good. It was good. These are memories that I'm gonna write a book about because these are things that I had a good experience. I never had a bad experience. The worst thing that ever happened to me, I think, was somebody bounced a check and Jim gave it back to me, gave me the money. He said, come into the office, Micky Lynn, I'm gonna give you the check. And I got my money. Nobody ever tried to mess around with me. Nobody ever tried. They knew that I was Jim's girl. I made sure that they knew where I came from.
Yeah. Like I say, it was the best time for me. Probably the best time of my life.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, an experience that I appreciate. Okay, I don't regret it. Like, I have like, when my family had found out,
Oh, yeah.
okay, it was because of a school friend, a childhood friend who had seen a magazine I had did. And had went to my family and told them what I was doing, showed them the magazine. I know she was a bitch. Yeah. Meanwhile, she looks like 90 now, besides the point. So I didn't talk to my family for like a year, and I turned around and I said, you don't pay my bills. I'm out of the house at 18. I know what I'm doing, and I'm a responsible adult. If you can't accept what I'm doing, then I don't know what to tell you. This is what I want to do. And that was it. It took them some time, and they came around. So now, I mean, now it's okay. And then people would start recognizing me. And like I would have photos in the house, and like cable people would come in, and they'd be like, oh, that's your daughter? And my mom would be like, yeah.
I saw her fucking last night.
Yeah.
Sucking TTBoy's dick.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's cool. So your parents came around.
Yeah, they did, because they knew that I wasn't a bad kid making a bad decision. I was making a adult decision.
You always struck me as somebody very conscious of what was going on.
Yeah, no, I always made sure that I was on time, made sure I was knowing what I was doing before I got there, and made sure that I didn't do what I didn't want to do. I was never pressured. There was a scene I did. It was what was it? Shawn Michaels and Dominique Simone. Remember Dominique Simone?
I used to go out with her, yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
mean, that's before your time, but we used to be pretty, a year and a half we went out.
okay. And we were supposed to do the scene in a six-passenger airplane. So I said,
In the air.
in the air with Shawn Michaels and Dominique Simone. Okay, so I agreed to it. So before I get there, we had like 2 flats. So I said, you know what, I'm not going, we fixed our flat.
Flat tire.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you say you just had flats coming here.
Yeah, so, but when I was doing that scene, I had like 2 flats before I got to the scene, but I still went to the scene to do my scene. And I said, I'm not gonna, screw them over. So we get on the plane and we go up into the air. And now we're in the air and we're supposed to start doing the scene. And I'm holding on and the plane is going like this. And I'm crying. I'm like, no, 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 you gotta take this plane down. I don't wanna die in the middle of the canyon. And the guy, I can't remember who the director was for that. And we came down, so then I had to give him a blowjob scene under the water. And we did it in a pool. But that was like the craziest experience I ever had. Something told me not to go up there, and I still did it anyway.
But you didn't do the scene up there?
No, I didn't do the scene up there. I was like, no, you gotta take me down. And I was crying. I was like...
Are you scared of heights or no?
Yes, I'm petrified of heights.
Okay. Yeah, turbulence is common in the air because when the wind flies around. But, so talking of Shawn Michaels, he had a pretty big dick. So you like big dicks? What's your perfect size dick?
Well, I prefer like 9. And I did anal with him. So, yeah.
Oh, he's a gentleman.
No, he was the only person, and he, I think, and I think I work with Marcus, Mr. Marcus, and him. Those were the 2 interracial guys that I would work with. I had my guys. Because I did do it, but I only work with certain people.
People you like.
Uh-huh.
So you like, what's the biggest dick you had sex with?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels? So show everybody how big Shawn Michaels is. About 10 or 11 inches?
Mm-hmm. And I just worked with him, when was it that I worked with him? 2019.
Yeah.
I think they call it a cockhold.
Cuckold.
Cockhold.
Fucking, I would not do a cuckold scene.
Yeah. Have you heard of that guy, Marcelo?
No.
He's a freak.
So what happened?
He is a guy that they do him up the butt, they gag him, they do all this stuff. He's just sick. He's a sick person.
So he's the cuckold guy you're with?
Mm-hmm.
So he was next to Shawn Michaels or what?
Yeah,
That's the story?
Yeah, he was it was me and Shawn Michaels that did the scene, and he was just there.
Close by.
Mm-hmm.
Did he take Shawn Michaels come?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is it with these people that do that?
I mean, you know, I always say live and let live, so I'm not saying nothing. You know what I mean? It's not my business of somebody's, as long as they're not hurting anybody, live and let live is my motto. So I don't say anything. This is not my style.
It's not your cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea, not my food, not my style. But Shawn Michaels is great, and he's still performing today. Unbelievable. What a strong, strong guy.
And he looks good.
Yeah, I had him on the show. I seen him because Peter North did like a documentary probably 3 months ago.
Okay.
And so we were all together, me, him, Mark Davis, and Herschel Savage, and I think that was it. But you see, yeah, Shawn Michaels is great, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
he's a good guy.
Able to perform. He's 63 or 64.
He's just a nice guy.
No, but he's still a strong, and a real performer. He's a real performer. No, I call Shawn Michaels the best black performer ever because he's got all these years. He still gets his dick hard, and he's 63 years old.
Wow.
So that's all I say. Shawn Michaels is great. You know, when it comes, he's great to work with, right?
Well, yeah, that's like I told you. I had my certain interracial people that I worked with, and he was the one guy, and then I had another one. Because when Jim asked me, now when I came back in 2008, and I did some work with Jim, I didn't know who was in the business, so I didn't know to say, oh, you know, who's this and who's that. So now you gotta remember, when I came back in 2018, I was starting to do MILF stuff. So now it was changing. I was doing, when I was young when I left, and now I'm older. So I was doing these young guys.
Yeah. What did you do? You know, this is a quick question. You quit working around 2000?
The last time I was out in California was 2000, and then I went back to New Jersey, and I just did I just did work. I did other things like danced and stuff like that. And then in 2002, I had my son.
So you had a boyfriend? You got a husband or something?
No, I just had a friend.
A friend, okay.
Yeah, and I had my son, and then from there, I took time out of the business because I wanted to raise him. I wanted to be his mother. And then 2004, we decided to move to Florida.
From Jersey?
Mm-hmm. For a better life for my son. So we've been there since 2004.
Where?
West Palm Beach.
How do you like it?
I love it. I love it. It's a free state. It's, you know, we've been open this whole time. Our government doesn't shut us down.
Yeah, they didn't steal your money.
No. We don't have a state income tax.
Yeah. God bless the governor there.
Yeah.
May Ron DeSantis?
Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis, may he live a long, long, glorious, healthy life.
Well, we got to get him 2022. He's got to be reelected for governor. And then in 2024, I'm hoping he runs for president.
Sounds good to me.
I don't think, I mean, it depends on who runs, whoever runs.
So your favorite director was Michael Carpenter, but for me, I love Carpenter. But you know what? I love working for Jim Holiday too. Mm-hmm. Do you like working for Jim?
Yes.
Anybody else?
Jim Enright?
Yeah, of course, Jim Enright. Excuse me for not saying his name. Jim Enright was great. You know what I mean? He put me in so many movies. I owe Jim Enright so much. Put me in so many movies. But he was great. Mm-hmm. You liked him?
Yeah, I liked him. He was nice. And I liked Michael Carpenter because he had that old car.
Oh,
Remember
yeah?
that car he used to drive
A
up
piece
there?
of shit.
Yeah.
Like a Chevy Caprice or some
Yeah.
old junker?
You had Frank Marino. He was good. Remember Frank Marino?
Yeah. But I never thought him as much of a director.
Yeah, he was always there. He
Or
was.
Jim Enright.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite position?
Missionary.
Missionary?
Mm-hmm.
Did you come on camera
Mm-hmm.
all the time?
Yes, I can.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You like sucking dick?
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Love it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Of course I do.
Did you ever have orgasm sucking dick?
No, not that
No?
bad, but I do love it.
Yeah? Do you like your pussy licked or dick sucking better?
Both.
Same? Equal?
Yeah, because I used to, well, remember when we used to do the scenes, we had, when I did the boy girl, I had the both worlds, so that I got little of both.
Yeah, two candies at the same time?
Exactly, so I had it licked and I was able to suck at the same time.
Do you have any movie? Did you just tell me that? I just want to make sure. Is there any movie, any feature movie, any movie at all that stands out as your most favorite one of all time that you were in? The 200 that you were in?
Anus the Menace.
Anus the Menace. So everybody out there, that's your favorite movie. Anus
Mm-hmm.
the Menace.
Anus the Menace. It was me, Randy West, and Sidney St. James. It was a spin-off of of course, you know.
Dennis the Menace?
Yeah. And that was my fun video because the way the dialogue that we had, it was kiddie-ish kind of, you know, you like Mr. Wilson, you know, and you know, you had your suspenders and all this other stuff, and it was fun, you know, those are the type of videos that we did.
It was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, you take them into, I remember the scene where I opened the door and there was Randy West and I pushed him inside and then we did the scene in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We did that scene, me and you, remember on the roof top for Super Groupie? Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rooftop of where?
One of the nightclubs in LA.
Really?
Yeah, because it was it was like I was going to see the Blackhawks. I was a groupie and you caught me on the roof. And I was going, and then you said the only way that I could get to see the Hawks was if I went through you.
I was security guard or who was
Yeah, you were like a,
the manager?
well, yeah, something like that. But it was on the rooftop. And I remember in the scene, there was like an airplane going by.
Oh, okay, watching us?
I don't know if they were watching us, but they were going by. I actually seen that clip because I put it on my website. Because what I do is I only put the scenes that I'm in on there. So I can show my fans. Because I still have all the fans. And I put like all the magazines that I've been in. And all the videos that I've been in. And I've been going through them all. And some of them, what I do is I go on to Hot Movies. And I buy them. So I can have my movies. And
I wish I would have kept my movies. You know what I mean? Because I did so many and I had so many. Because they're hard to come by now. I mean, you know, like you're doing. So yeah, it's smart to do.
well, yeah, because you gotta, you know, you have to have. See, that's what, when people go to my site, that is what they have. They don't have, they have history. So I have everything where I did from 91 all the way to now that I shoot. So I have stuff that's there that people can see that when I was young to now when I'm at this point.
Yeah, it's a good history log.
Yeah, you have to, because especially when you're in this business for so many years, you want to be able to have it. It's like a catalog, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many photos, so many.
How many magazines did you think you did?
Oh, I did all of them. I did Chic, I did High Society. I mean, I must have done like 50.
Hustler?
Mm-hmm.
Penthouse?
Yes, I was in Penthouse. What else? I was in Hustler Barely Legal like 4 times.
So you did 50 magazines?
Mm-hmm.
How many did you get? Yeah, how many box covers did you do?
I had to have done at least 50. Yeah, I have a lot of
That's a lot.
Yeah, I have a lot of box
That's
covers.
25% you were on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, because girls were always fighting for the box cover back then, remember?
Yeah.
I want the cover for dance and feature, you know.
Well, that's why I did it. Because you remember, I went back to Show World to feature dance.
Oh yeah?
Where I
I
started.
didn't remember, you went back in.
I went back there and I went back to feature dance.
Yeah? How much you get paid?
Like $4,000 a week.
Really? And then you get Polaroids and money.
You sold your Polaroids, you sold your 8x10s, anything that you had, you sold.
What's the best week you ever did?
Best week that we did was like 7,000.
Including the dance?
Mhm.
So 3,000 Polaroids and
Mhm.
4,000.
Yeah, I remember we were going from somewhere and we went up to, we went to Canada to dance. And I don't remember who booked it, but we went in and you have to go to the side and they have to check your car. So, you know, I explained to them what I was going up there for. I'm going up there to feature dance. So they took everything. I was in an interrogation room for like 8 hours, okay? They took everything out of my truck, the back of the truck that we were driving in. And all my videos, all my 8x10s, they took because they said I had to pay a tax before I sold it. And I says, well, how do you know I'm gonna sell all this stuff?
What year was this?
That was like 95. So I said,
95, that's...
so I said, you're gonna have to keep it all. All I got to take was my undeveloped Polaroids. So then I went to the club, okay? And it was like this little rinky-dinky club. And I went in and I did my performance, and they don't tip you there. Like, it's just like very hard to tip. It's like, hello, are you gonna tip me? And they didn't tip. So then, all of a sudden, I guess the girls were doing $10 blowjobs. Yeah. So they were like,
This
oh.
is 95, you're saying?
In 1995. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Micky Lynn, are you going to be doing $10 blowjobs? I says, no, that's not what I was hired to do.
Please.
Yeah, the girls did that. So
Not the club, though, the girl.
No, the club did it.
No, but the club asked you?
Yeah, the club asked
If
me.
you're doing $10 blowjobs?
Yep. Yeah, it was terrible, so I wouldn't. And so I says to the guy, I'm heading out of here, number one, and I want my shows that I've done, and I want it in American money. I've never packed up so fast and left. I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is, no. I can't be doing this. They're not tipping on stage, and they want to do this. No, I'm not some hoe that's gonna be here doing all this. I'm an entertainer, and I left.
So they paid you the money?
Mm-hmm.
For just that night?
Whatever they owed me, I don't know if it was a few nights or whatever,
Oh.
they paid it to me, and I left. Because, you know, I mean,
Yeah, sounds crazy.
that's like, just because I do porn doesn't mean that I'm gonna give $10 blowjobs.
So that's a bad experience.
That was a bad experience.
So you said you didn't have any bad experiences on the sets, right?
Nope.
None.
Mm-mm.
Okay, how about this? Do you have any heartbreaking stories that you witnessed or heard about while you're in the business? For example, Savannah shooting herself, which was pretty heartbreaking.
Cal Jamma, I was on the cover of Always with him.
Of what?
Always, a movie Always.
Always. Okay.
I was on the box cover with him. That was very sad. And then
Well, tell the people, they don't know.
he shot himself in the head because he was, I guess, having marital problems with Jill Kelly. He was, so he wasn't happy. And then Alex Jordan, who supposedly hung herself.
Supposedly.
Hung herself in a closet.
Why? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that?
I mean, to me, she didn't seem like she was that person, but
Really?
yeah.
I worked with her a couple times, and I felt a little something skittish on her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all.
Yeah.
So, but, you know.
But she was a really good person to work with. But those are the two that passed while I was in the business. And Savannah too, because Savannah was she died I think in 92. 94, okay, yeah.
I think she died in May of 94, I think.
Yeah.
May or June.
Yeah, so those are the three that I know of.
And which one affected you the most?
Cal Jammer.
Cal Jammer.
He was just a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Oh, he was a sweetheart. You know, I worked with him, he was a gentleman and
Very nice.
very nice.
I worked side by side with him, but he was on his first sets I was on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, way back when I was working for Video Exclusives, because he used to build the sets for him too.
Okay.
But, you know, he was always, every time, always nice. Always friendly. Never, ever did you feel anything but positivity come out of him.
That's why when I heard that, I was like, it can't be, you know, he's such a well put together person. He's a very well put together person. So that's why I would have never thought that. But there were rumors that Jill Kelly was the cause of it, and you know she was going to leave him and all this other stuff.
Yeah. They called her the Widowmaker afterwards or something like that. Anyways, Cal was a nice guy. I like Jill Kelly too, so.
Yeah, no, she was a good person.
She's cool.
You know, you don't know, like I'm a strong believer that you don't know the two sides to the story.
Yeah.
You only know what you hear, and that is what I heard.
Yeah, for sure. And those were, Cal, all of them were sad. I like Savannah too. Savannah was cool, and we got along really well, so.
I never got to meet her.
No? She was cool. To me, she was cool. She was rough to some people, but I was in one of her first scenes or her first scene, and I worked with her probably until close to when she died, you know?
Okay.
I probably worked with her 10 times or whatever. She was always cool. We always got along really well. She was cool. We're just two young people. It's just like me and you.
Uh-huh.
We're just young kids having some fun. I guess you were born in 72? 73, so I'm 5 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Savannah is probably close to your age. She was 18, I think in 90. So I think she's born in 70. So yeah, so anyway.
See, the problem with a lot of these girls when they get into the business is they don't realize what is in the future for them. So what I mean by that is you don't think of, oh, is my family going to find out, or I'm going to start a family in the future. You don't think of these things when you're 18 years old. You just think you see the dollar signs, and you say to yourself, this is what I want at this time, and I'm going to go for it. Back then.
Today, I think they know the difference.
I don't think so, because when I went to the XRC Awards, there were 50, because when I got into the business, there were more girls than guys. When I went to that XRCO, there were 50-50. And those individuals didn't have a care in the world. They are living what they are living, and they are not thinking of the future like we did.
Well,
we thought of the future.
You thought of the future.
And they're not thinking of the future.
I was just there to have a beautiful time.
Yeah, but you thought of your future because look where you are today.
Well, because afterwards, after I experienced a lot, then I said, oh, I have an opportunity. I took the opportunity. But that's all. That's the only reason. I just took an opportunity. But I was kind of wild, you know, just happy to have sex. I get paid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
But but that's what I see now. I see 50-50 ratio of talent.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't see like I said, when I got in, there were more girls and less guys. Now there's
Oh, yeah. No, that's not. This should be more girls.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah. Right, it's a well, the guys are there because they got Viagra, they shoot their dicks up, You know, they got all kinds of things they can do, pumps. So that's why they're there. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Let's face the facts.
That's true.
Okay, because you know, good performers are really hard to come by, and that's a fact. So let me ask you a geeky question. When you were in your prime, you know, doing the box covers, did people from your neighborhood, you went to school with, guys, hey Mickey,
Yes.
I saw you, I jacked off to you,
Yeah.
I want to fuck you, come on.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of people notice who I was.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's funny because a funny story. I went to New York City, and I had featured in my first box cover, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy my first video." So I went in to the video store, and I'm like, "Oh wow, look, that's me, blah blah blah." So I went to buy it. Do you realize I couldn't buy my own video?
right.
Because I had to be 21.
Really?
Yeah. So I said, "That's me on the cover. It doesn't matter. We can't say." I said, "So I'm old enough to do the movie, but I'm not old enough to buy it." They were like, "Yeah." Now, my brother's friends found magazines of me. They knew.
Oh, they liked it?
Yeah. My brother's friends.
Yeah, they probably like, this
Yeah.
is cool.
Mm-hmm.
They
My
used to-
brother's friends.
Did they hit on you before when you were younger?
No, because I left early. I wasn't at home.
Oh.
You gotta remember, I wasn't living home. Yeah, no, I left about 17. I moved out.
Oh, but you had your brother there till you
Yeah,
were 17,
yeah.
so
Well,
friends were still
he
there.
was home. He was living at home because he's younger than me. So, and that's when they found the magazine. They said they found it in the woods.
They bought
They bought it. They said, "Oh, look, Joe, your sister." So then after that, I would get my brother all autographs from the girls.
it. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. On set or something?
Oh yeah, anywhere I went, to the conventions, remember the Atlantic City shows, AVN, everywhere I went, I started getting him autographs, and I'd give it to him.
Oh, that's
Till this day, his boss is like, "That's your sister?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's my sister." He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that Micky Lynn is your sister," and that's his boss.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Huh.
So when I go up in New Jersey, I'm gonna go to the Exotica in New Jersey, I'm gonna get them in.
Which females, porn star girls, you know, in our time, did you say to yourself, fuck, or work with, or want to work with, so hot?
Felicia.
Felicia? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good scene with Felicia.
Oh, yeah? She
Yeah.
was hot.
Yeah, let's put it this way. When the camera stopped rolling, we kept going.
Yeah, she loved girls.
Yeah.
But she was like a big tease.
She only did girls.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, she was like a big tease. All the guys wanted to fuck her because they couldn't fuck her, right?
Yeah.
And she was sexy.
Yeah, she was hot.
How about Jenna Jameson? Did you work with her?
Yes, I did. I did a magazine cover.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of her?
When I knew her, she was sweet. But as the years gone by, I heard bad things about her. So I don't know. I mean, we worked together. She was fine.
She was always sweet to me.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know, people talk.
But like I said, people talk.
You can't be nice to everybody. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
You know, because people are not nice to you sometimes, so
People-
you can't be nice to them.
People are like politics. You can't make everybody happy.
You know who I thought was really hot? Was really pretty face, and had a great, like, you know, look. I guess a little bit at the end of your time was Tara Patrick.
Yes. She had that exotic look.
Yeah. But she was tall, so she had a lot of charisma, or a lot of like presence. I thought, you know. But who else do you think of? How about Brianna Banks? How about Kylie Ireland? How about?
Kylie Island, she was good. Nina Hartley was good.
Well, let's talk about this. How great, how amazing was Jim South in World Modeling?
He was amazing. He was Papa Bear to me. Papa Bear till the end. He always called me. He always said that he would be my husband. He wanted to marry me until the day that I didn't hear from him. And I got the call from his son because I always kept in touch with him. I always said, "Hey, Papa Bear, how you doing? You know, how are you feeling today?" And then his son, Jim Jr., had messaged me and said, "Look, Dad had passed." But I wanted to come out for the 80th party, but I couldn't because I was out in California that summer, and my son had to start school in August. So it didn't pay for me to be out here in July and then come back out in September. So that's one of the reasons why I missed it.
I used to call him once a week almost. I think he got sick of me calling him.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's like, all right, But here's a picture I'm gonna show everybody. This is at his 80th birthday. It's me, Ron Jeremy, Eric Edwards, Kylie Ireland, and more.
Oh, so everybody showed up.
A lot of people showed up, yeah. And Christy Canyon there.
I talk to her every day.
Really? She's the best.
Oh, she's Aunt Christy to my son.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Wow.
her and Ginger.
Oh, they're great. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they got the story out of him, how he found out what I did. They did it. They got it out of him. Not me. I couldn't get it out of him, but they did. They asked him.
What do you mean?
My son, when he found out who I was.
So, remember the talent calls Jim used to have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Polaroids. I still have my Polaroids.
Really?
Yes, I still have the Polaroids that he has.
So you got them back from him?
Yeah, he gave them back to me.
Wow, I could have got those from mine. That would have been great.
Now, the only thing that I was very disappointed in, the last time I was here in 2019, there was a guy that was working with him, and he was very shady, and I didn't like him too much. Some guy that was, I guess, learning the ropes, getting his contacts, and he was supposed to book me and never booked me anything, and said this and said that, and I was very upset about that. I don't know his name, but he was working with Jim 2019. And I says to Jim, you need to, rethink. I mean, if I would have known that, I would have tried to learn the business. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, Jim was unbelievable. I always say it on the show. I want everybody to know, and 99% of everybody says world modeling. Jim South was spectacular. To be part of him was just like part of a family, like you say, part of your father.
Well, Papa Bear. He was, I believe that being with him was because of the experience that I had. It's when I used to go out, 3 times a year. I would come from New Jersey and I'd say, Jim, I'm coming out to work.
Huh?
Yeah, and he would get me as much work as he could.
How long would you stay?
Sometimes 2 months. Yeah, I'd say, okay, I'm coming out for 2 months. I'm driving out. I want you to get me some work. And he'd get me my work. He'd line it up. I'd go for my interviews. Back then you had to go to make sure that you looked like you said you did. And then, he never failed me when I came out. He never failed me. So I believe that Micky Lynn is who she is because of him. And that's the whole name.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because without Jim South, guess what? There's no TTBoy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. Without Jim South, there's no TTBoy. Period.
Now, did they have I heard they had a memorial at his house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we had another one at this other house, director's house.
Okay.
Kelly Holland. You know Kelly Holland?
Yes.
So we had another memorial at her house.
And, you know, he never took any cent from, like, when we did the videos, he never took money from us back in the 90s. Always the video companies, they would have to pay
It
him.
was the best, right?
Yeah.
He knew.
I mean, he knew not to take from his talent.
The idea, right? Not a normal agency fee, which is like 10, 15%, right? But just to make everybody else pay and the talent gets to live is brilliant. That's less paperwork.
Now, I never worked for anybody else, because, you know, and, you know, I was always known as Jim's girl, you know.
Did you ever go overseas?
No.
No.
I think the furthest I went with Hustler was Hawaii.
Well, that's fun.
I went with Larry Flint. It was, we did Hustler, Barely Legal, and Chic.
With Larry Flint? He was there?
Yeah, he was there with Doug, his bodyguard.
All right. He was cool?
Yeah, he was very, very in particular, Larry Flint was.
In which way? What do you mean?
He had a certain way of working. You had to make sure you followed the rules. If not, he got pissed off, which anybody would do. I mean, that's like me, you know, I mean, I owned a lingerie store, and if anybody I hired, they didn't work right, it was like, you have to do your own work and don't hire anybody.
I mean, he was so successful. One of the most successful people of all time in this business, one of them. There's still more. You know, Adam and Eve, Phil Harvey's very successful. And, you know, a lot of toy companies are very successful. But, any case, yeah, he passed.
I know. I'm surprised he lived as long as he did, being in that wheelchair.
Shot in the back, I mean, he's a tough guy.
Well, you know, he's part of, now the only thing I didn't like is he was very democratic. Yeah, I mean, but then other than that, I mean, he's like a George Soros of California, I guess.
So you're a Republican?
No, I'm a libertarian.
Libertarian, okay.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, well, that's a good place to be, I think. Take only the good. As much as you could take the good. So, did you win any awards?
Yep, I got my, finally, 2019, I got my AVN Hall of Fame.
Yeah?
It only took me that many years.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. See, I never did, my scenes, I never really was nominated because I was never out here that long to be nominated for any awards.
You were
in
not
the
nominated?
90s, in the 90s, no.
Not nominated?
Nope.
Come on.
No, I was never nominated.
Never nominated?
It was all a political thing. Always a political thing. You didn't know that?
Well, I know it was political, but, you know, they didn't always like me. They still gave me, you know, awards because I was maybe in so many movies.
That's why you were more than I was. How many did you do? 2,000?
I think I did 3,000 scenes, I think, solid 3,000 scenes, but probably like, I don't know, because sometimes you do 2 or 3 scenes in a movie, so I don't know for sure how many movies, but I think 2,000 or 3,000 scenes. But some of those scenes were from my company.
See, now what they do is if you submit your video, then they put it up for a nomination. So anybody can shoot a video and submit it to AVN.
Well, I still agree with you, it's political. Because the truth is, Jonathan Morgan won Performer of the Year 1 year, and I stunned him for him 10 times. So, you know, that's a fucking stupid. Those guys didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They're fucking dumb as fuck. You know, that's what I'm saying, straight out. You know, if you don't, I stunned 10 times and you give that guy the Performer of the Year, you're stupid. Any case.
Because it's all political.
No, because they don't, half political, half don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? And biases too. You know, just normal life. It's just life, you know what I mean? People are biased. And you know what? It's freedom of speech to be biased. So fuck it, I'm with it. You know what I mean? Anyways, so is there any other experiences or anything about the business that you might want to tell me?
Any experiences?
On the set, you see anything crazy on the set?
Oh, I got to see the Houston 500 gangbang.
Oh yeah?
That, I just walked on it. I wasn't a fluffer or anything.
For John Bowen, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty intense with all the girls, the fluffers.
Oh, there's a lot of fluffers there?
A lot of fluffers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, you're like, Micky Lynn, you want to fluff? No. It's okay. $100? No. I guess that's what they were getting paid, $100. I'm like, no, I'm good.
So what was your average price per scene?
Probably 600.
600?
And then an extra 100 for anal,
Right.
7. And then the box cover. So I always tried to get 2 scenes and the box cover.
Well, when you came in, right, you know, for the 2 or 3 months, right, at a time, what was the normal amount of money you went home with?
Probably like 35 grand.
35 grand?
Mhm.
That's after paying expenses?
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to pay for all
So
that.
and I was able to live off of it when I went back to Jersey. And I would dance and I would go out on the road dancing and stuff like that.
So, I'm just curious, real quick, what kind of childhood did you have?
I had a normal childhood. I'm the second oldest of 6 kids. From the first marriage. So my mom had gotten married twice. And I'm the only one that would have the guts to do this. I was always an entertainer. I always entertained people, danced. My grandfather used to say to me, one day you're gonna be an entertainer.
Huh?
Yeah, you're gonna be, I would get dressed up and just dance in front of everybody. And I liked it. Like I told you, I did plays. I was always active. I always played. I was a tomboy. I played with the guys. I had some girlfriends, but I didn't like the drama. So I was a normal kid growing up. That is why when my family found out what I decided to do, they were shocked. They were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I'll give you an example. One time I was in Video World. It's the opposite of Show World. That's where I started. And I remember being in there and working on the top booth. And, I seen some guy walk into the place. And I'm like, is that my uncle? So I says to the manager, because they all loved me, I'm like, I gotta hide. They're like, why? I says, you see that guy right there? He's my uncle. I said, and I don't want him to know I'm here. So he says, okay. So that is the weirdest experience that I had when I worked at Video World before I started at Show World. It was like, okay, what do I do? Do I say anything? No. So, but that's the weirdest thing.
But you're kind of strong, right? Because, some girls might be like, oh shit, what do I do? I'm stuck here. But you're like, no, I gotta do this. I gotta get out of the way.
Yeah, no,
you're
have
very
to.
level-headed.
Yeah, no, I remember one time I was at the same place and this pimp came in and I didn't know what a pimp was. And I always had this attribute of people protecting me. So all the girls in the management they knew I was naive to the situation. And the guy was talking to me and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, look, Micky Lynn, you might not want to talk to that person. I'm like, oh, baby, he's such a nice guy. No, Micky Lynn. I said, okay. So then they went up to him and said, look, you need to leave. She is not, no. You're not messing with her. It's like, okay. So, I always had a protection bubble around me. Even like one time I was in West Palm and I was house momming at one of the clubs and the black girls would protect me from the Spanish girls. Because I was in charge of the place. And they would get pissed at me, and they would like yell at me, and the black girls would like, really? You're gonna attack her like that? And I'm like, just because I told them what I was told to tell them, they got mad. Well, you know Latin girls.
I'm Latin.
Yeah, you know them. They're like spitfires.
Well, Latin people are kind of feisty, I guess, right? The girls and the guys.
Both.
They want to fight. They want to fuck. Latin girls want to fight, yeah.
Well, you know.
They want to stab you, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, not me at least. I never had that
Yeah.
problem.
Anyway, so can you describe in 2 words your experience in the business?
2 words. Simply amazing.
Hear that? I agree. I second that.
No, I mean, because it's like any other thing. If you like what you do, you do it. Yeah, I mean, I still love it. I mean, as the performer that I believe I was born to do it. And that's what I try to tell these girls is, if you can't do this sober, and, you know, and what you have nowadays is bullying on the internet.
In my opinion, I always thought bullying was healthy because it makes you become stronger. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a different type of bullying.
Physical.
That's a person who will say to your face what they feel to tell you, stiff your back up and stop being
No,
a
they
bitch.
beat your ass.
Exactly.
That's what a bully does.
That's a different, but these cyber bullies, okay, once you have internet, you have text messages, or you have internet, people say whatever they want because they can say it.
Right.
And a lot of these girls can't handle it because they don't have a strong backbone. I tell people when they come after me, well, that's your problem. If you don't like it, that's your problem.
You're right. Because the people leave comments on my show all the time, complete idiots that know nothing, you know, and they want me to respond to them, so I just delete them off my show.
Okay.
That means, you know, I'll block you because I don't care about negative comments. You can fuck off and eat shit. But yeah, I understand. But if you're a young person and you're raised up in a world where comments is part of your life, it can really affect you.
Yeah, no, and I've heard a lot of people have taken their lives in the past because of it.
They say, the statistics say right now, that suicide from girls, I think, 8 to 14 is up 170, 180%.
Wow.
Compared to 10 years ago because of the internet and because of social media. And 14 and above, maybe 14 to 21, is up 80%.
Wow.
So people really do get affected. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. That's what I tell them still now.
But the names actually hurt more than maybe a stone, because you get over the physical, but the other stuff haunts you. You want to get them. So, yeah.
And another thing with this business that's different, there's no age verification on these social media platforms. There's no way of saying that I am 18. Like I have on my Facebook page, okay? I'm a person, and I tell my son this, and you'll tell your son this when he gets older, is that you do not accept photos of girls underage, and you do not send them to your friends. You know how many dick pics I have gotten on my Facebook page? And I tell them, please don't send them to me, because I open it up in front of my family. You know, I'm sitting there, and I don't need to see this. And then they're like, can you send photos to me? I says, well, how old are you? I'm old enough. I'm like, no, I'm not. You can't prove to me that you're old enough to accept first of all, you're not getting a free photo, okay? And second of all, I can't prove that you're of age. So how do I know you're not a cop on the other end, and I send you a photo of me? Now I'm soliciting underage kids.
Yeah, the dangerous world out there, the cyber world.
And that's the problem.
Let me ask you this question, because we're done with porno now. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. How do you feel about this vaccine mandates?
I don't think they should do it. I'm not vaccinated. No. It's my body, my choice. And I've gotten into fights with people on the internet, friends, and it's my choice. I've never had the flu shot, and I put them, even the mask mandates in Florida, we don't have that there. It's just something that it should be my body, my choice. I say, if I don't have a mask on, I should stay enough way apart from you and give you enough space. If I cough, I should cough in my tissue or in my shirt. It's just common sense people don't want to use. But we're the bad people. We're the ones that are causing all this problem.
Sure.
Us. You know that, right? We're the unvaccinated.
How do you feel about a guy like Don Lemon making on
I want to smack his face.
global news, CNN, saying that the people that aren't vaccinated should be in a concentration camp? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I want to go and smack the crap out of him. Because who is he to turn around and say that I should be put anywhere? This is the United States of America. This is the land of the free. This is not Cuba. This is not China. And we all know this is the China virus.
Yeah. One more question. Did you know that today America left Afghanistan? Right? And they left all the military missiles, helicopters, fighter jets, bombs, guns, munitions, and more. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
They left billions and billions of our dollars over there. How do you feel about that?
I feel disgusted as an American citizen, number one. I don't think they should have, not because of the people they should have taken them out. They should have taken more time, secured our borders, take everything they needed out of there, and then removed us from there. We have a weak government right now. So what is to say that somebody is not going to come from that end and come back to this way and use all that against them? There's no not saying it. They've already taken it over. I mean, the president of the country has left there.
They have a history of using weapons against everybody.
So, but, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, our governor doesn't put up with that. Our governor went to the border and seen what was going on. Our governor said that we are not. I mean, you know what they're doing? They're putting all these people in our states at nighttime on federal land. And then they wonder why the COVID is going up. Not because of the people, not because of me, because I'm unvaccinated. It's because of the people that they're bringing over. Oh, and then, do you guys still have your whatchamacallit, unemployment that they're doing? I think it's September 4th it ends, where they give you $300 a week.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Florida, yeah, we're not entitled to it because, we make too much, but Florida, we stopped it July 26th. We stopped it. People gotta go back to work. That's it.
Let's leave that subject because we had a nice interview. A lot of people can't take the politics. So that's all. I just wanted those two questions. But here's a more fun question. Okay? if you were trapped on a tropical island, right?
Okay.
Who would you want to be trapped there with? You know, celebrity or sports athlete?
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson? Miami Vice?
Yeah. Oh, I used to love him in Miami Vice. That's why I moved to Florida, because I just loved the way the life was.
He was cool.
Yeah. He still looks good.
Yeah.
He's like 70 or something like that.
Yeah, he took care of himself. Yeah, but I thought Don Johnson was cool as hell.
Yeah. That's who I would like to stay on the...
Any girls?
No.
Angelina Jolie?
I don't know.
Scarlett?
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
She seems pretty down.
I love Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's got a nice booty.
Like big
Nice
butts?
booty. Yeah, like booty.
Oh yeah?
She just looks great.
Unbelievable for
I
me.
mean, she's got a bad track record for her men, but
I mean, would you say that's a bad track record, or you say she does what she wants?
she lives.
Period.
I guess she just lives her life. That's it. She's got the money.
But that's because she does what she wants.
That's it.
Probably she's so successful, probably because she does what she wants.
That's it. She says, "Screw you. I'm not coming home tonight." Well, I think her Alex messed around on her or something. But you see, that's just a guy thing. You can have the most beautiful woman at home, and you're still gonna screw around.
You know what?
It's a man thing.
Here's what some people got to understand. It's not us. It's the way the earth or Mother Nature or God, whoever you want to say, created man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The strong alpha male was created that way.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can say, no, you got your mind, you got your brain, that's wrong, that's feminist, or what do you want to say, that's against women, you're an asshole. But that's the truth.
I did a year ago, I did a radio thing with James Bartolet. And he had asked me, this is when that whole Black Lives Matter thing was brought up. And he says to me, Micky Lynn, did you hear that they're going to change the interracial in AVN?
And I did a special about that on my show.
And I said, what are they going to change it to? What are they going to change it to? There's no way of changing it. Why are you going to change something that's been around for the longest time? Because they're told to.
Exactly. No, you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because the movement is no labels, nobody's nothing, you're all the same ants. So we can control you. But anyways, that's about it. That's our show.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. And MickyLynn.com?
MickyLynn.com, yes. You can find all collectibles. You can join my site there. There's a lot of stuff there.
Any OnlyFans or anything like that?
Yeah, onlyfans.com/Micky Lynn.
Anything else?
No?
How about your social media?
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is Micky Lynn XOXO. MickyLynnXOXO for all three of them.
You got it? Check her out. Send her a hello. Guys, shake your hand. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all the good scenes we did.
Yes.
And you know, our history is over. Our history is done, but I mean, it's crazy.
It's never over.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's strange, right? But it's nice to see you.
It's always good to see old fuck buddies.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
basically what we were.
Yeah. It's weird, but anyways.
We got paid for what we like to do.
It's so weird, right? It's almost like we were there, it doesn't seem that long ago, but now we're older. It's weird.
It's weird, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Anyways, thanks. See you guys later.
Mwah.